Hi there. We are going to look at chapter 10, which is single line text and the text assignment. So let me do some sharing of the screen. And first, let's look at, so here we are in 3D modeling assignments, lesson 5, chapter 10 exercise. Complete the text exercise assignment using single line text. This is really important. Make sure dynamic input is turned off. That's the F12 button. And the text exercise PDF is this. So it's a little tiny, so I'm going to zoom in. Set up an 8.5 by 11 vertical drawing. Draw a rectangle 6 by 9 high with the lower left corner at 0, 0. Then you're going to follow these instructions. So let's jump into it. I'm going to change this a little bit so we can see. First thing is text styles, which is covered in chapter 9. You need to review this section in lesson 10 because this part on text styles is really important. And how do you get to styles? Well, if you remember in the margin of your book, this vertical text that's all capitalized in bold, that is the command line command for text styles. You can type style, you can type ST, you can go home, annotation, text style, annotate, text, a couple different ways. A lot of sort of rambling, but I will show you what this all means, okay? So, and then there's font options. So there's two things with text styles. There's the text style name and the font that you assign to it. So let's jump into AutoCAD. And we'll go back to share. Go back to AutoCAD. Okay, now, remember when you start a new drawing in AutoCAD, the first thing you want to do is save it. That way, if you have a power outage or a system failure, the computer will attempt to save your work up to the moment before the power outage. So click on Save As, find your location where you're going to save this. So yours will be different depending on your program, your computer. So I'm going to send this to AutoCAD 2020, night classes, lessons, and I'm sending it to my night class folder because I have one already started. So here's lesson 9, chapter 10. Double click. Come on. Click, click. There we go. And I'm going to save it as text exercise. Okay, and I spelled it wrong, so I'm going to go back and fix that. Okay, so here's that PDF. I just inserted it. I'm going to start by drawing this rectangle because it's probably the easiest thing to do. 6 by 9 with the lower left corner at 0. Okay, so I just do the REC down in the command line or the rectangle command. Hit enter, 0, 0. And since I'm from 0, 0, I can use absolute coordinates, 6, 9. Okay, so I save that. Now, let's go to the instructions. This is the part that confuses people. Reconstruct this page according to the specifications in each block of text. So this piece, this piece. This is standard style. 0.20 high, first line starts at 0.25, 7.5. Over here we have vertical style. Here Roman S1 style. This is text is fit between, same as above, Roman S1. Standard style, Gothic font, backwards, Roman S1 style. Okay, so what does all that mean? Just like AutoCAD has a default layer 0, it has a default text style called standard that exists on every version of AutoCAD on every computer that has it. The problem is different users will change the font that is assigned to that style name. Let me show you what I mean. I'm going to go to the Annotate tab. I'm going to go to Text, and this diagonal down arrow will open the text style dialog box. You'll see Standard and Annotate. Stay away from Annotate. You can also type STYLE. You can also type ST. Remember that S, shortcut S is for stretch, ST is for text style. Okay, so right now, Standard is assigned the font name Arial. The best way I can explain what text styles are is that they are individual names, just like people's names. Manny, Moen, Jack, Scott, Fred, Jeff, Sally, Mary. They don't have any meaning to the computer. They only have meaning to the operator. The font is what that style looks like. Think of it as your name and the shirt you're wearing. You can change the way you look just by changing the shirt that you have on. In the same way, each style can change its appearance all based on what font is attached to it. This can be really dangerous if you use Standard, because people will change this. So let's set this back to TXTSHX. Now, quick note about fonts. If it has a TT next to it, it's a true type font that's part of the Windows system. If it has an SHX extension, it's an old AutoCAD font. So I'm going to set Standard to TXT. This will remind me not to use it. I'm going to set it current to sort of lock that set in. Now I'm going to start to populate. There's vertical style. We also had Roman S1. So I'm going to start with Roman S1. So I'm going to say new, and we're going to give it a name, Roman S1. Click OK. I'm going to highlight it, and I'm going to assign the font Roman S1. I'm going to type R to jump to that. And the reason I'm calling it Roman S, not Romans plural, is because you have Roman D, Roman S, Roman T, Romantic, Roman S. Set that current. Now there's also a Gothic font, so I'm just going to call this Gothic. And the Gothic fonts that are assigned to the Gothic style may not be exactly the same as the ones in the handout. That's okay. I'm just going to scroll down. Here's Gothic E, and we'll stick with that one. Set current to lock it in. A new one, we're going to call it backwards. And this one we're going to give a script style to. So I'm going to scroll down to, or scroll up a little bit. Here we go, script C. And script S. I'm going to go with script S, and I'm going to click the backwards button. So it flips backwards. Click apply. And the other one was called vertical. So I'm going to new, I'm going to call it vertical. Now notice the vertical style uses the Roman D font. So I'm going to assign Roman D. I'm going to uncheck backwards. I'm going to click vertical. Click apply. So now I've set up all of my different text styles. Click close. Okay. Do not use mtext. And do not use T, which is short for text, short for mtext over here. If you're going to use the command shortcut, you're going to use DT, which is short for text or dynamic text. You can also type in dtext, Or instead of multi-line, if you click on this little arrow, you get single line. I'm going to say single line text. And it says reconstruct this page according to the specifications of each block of text. So I'm going to change my style to standard. I don't have to worry about dimensions right now, so ignore this. So the standard style has assigned to it the TXT font. It's 0.2 high, which you see right here. And I'm just going to start, I'm going to click single line text. Start point of text tells me it's at 0.25, comma, 7.5. Enter. Text height is 0.2. Rotation angle is 0. And I'm going to start typing. Reconstruct this page. Hit enter. That'll go to the next line of text. It automatically spaces it. This is really important. If you make a spelling error, don't stop what you're doing. Type the entire paragraph so that it keeps spacing for you. You can always go back later and fix it. So I'm going to say specifications. I'm just going to type in the first word of each line. This 0.20 starts. Enter. Enter again to finish the command. Now I've got a spelling error here. Just double click on it and it opens. Anything that's underlined in red is a spelling error. So I can right click and I can change that misspelled word. And then I can go to the next line, go to the end of each, and then we'll go to the next one and the next one and the next one. And it looks really ugly. So I'm going to stop here and we'll pick it up again in lesson 2.